Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Angel Insight. My name's Michelle Christinas. I'm so happy you guys are here. Let me know. I'm playing with my light here. Let's see what's going to work out. I thought I had it on the right. It changes all kinds of colors. Just a moment. All right. So, as you're coming into this beautiful reading, my name's Michelle Christinas. I just got out of the shower. Yeah, that's the one I wanted. All right, hopefully this is nice and bright. I love participation, but if you don't feel like it, that's okay. But I really would love to hear what you think about this. This is a daily download, which means it is a timeless reading. When you find this, it is perfectly timed for you. Okay, so we're going to get right into it. What are we talking about here? We are talking about your abundance. You are like this little firecracker, aka this train that has this attitude I think I can, I think I can. You keep having obstacle after obstacle after obstacle, and you have been really positive, and Spirit has brought you in here because over these next several months, you are laying down the tracks to your abundance. So, we're going to take a look at that today. We're going to get some messages from the divine. We have a couple channeled messages. So, let's go ahead and start with this structure of abundance. We've got the story of the train coming in. We're laying down the tracks. We're heading to a destination, right? Okay. And that destination is abundance in all forms. This is actually the tracks of your evolution. So, when we're speaking about abundance here, it's not just monetary, it's expansion in your connection, expansion in your relationships, expansion in your clarity, in your clairs, expansion in your vision. Okay. And more than anything, and I want you to keep in mind, hey, I'm so happy you're here. What's up, girl? Trains have been a theme for me this summer. Okay, well, looks like you're in the right place. And the train is kind of coming in, laying down the tracks. It's really about this recoding, reformation, reformation is coming of our nervous system. Okay, so be patient. Okay, be patient. Number one. All right, let's go ahead and kind of jump into what, because we have quite a few things to share. So first of all, this is the first thing that we're going to share. Sorry, it came in here. Finalize your plans. Full steam ahead. And then I heard choo choo. Come and ride that train. Move your body. Woo woo. Okay, so that song, which I love that song, came in. It's time to move your body. It's time to move in the direction. Lay down these tracks. And if you think about when the trains came to being, it was not an easy thing. Okay, it was a very hard job to actually lay down the tracks. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what the divine wants to come in with. We're going to do some shuffles right away. The very first thing the divine is going to tell us is to speak up. Okay, is to use, I just don't know if this light is doing what I want it to do. Hold on, I'm going to try turning it up. Okay, and we're going to just work with it. Okay, let's try from the side. All right. So very first thing is be vocal. Mary's here. Hello, Michelle. So glad to see you this time. Yes, I'm so glad you're here. And I'll give you both a highlight while you're on right now. This is a timeless reading. But guys, I'll be going live with the Whale Oracle most likely Monday evening. Okay. I'm kind of expecting that to be a big one. So just saying. All right, so right away, we got to speak up, and I will tell you, remember, everything is guided by my team. I even pre-shuffled these, and they were like, "Nope, shuffle one more time." So I'm seeing this the first time as you are. You're a work in progress, full steam ahead. We're laying down the tracks. Okay, we don't really know where the destination is. We're laying the tracks so that the train can ride over, right? So right now, we're just getting speak up. Talk about your experience to others. What are you experiencing? I love that how Amethyst came in and she said, she's been getting trains. So there you go. Just really kind of speaking up. What is your experience? What are you going through? Because many of you who find this, all of you who find this, it feels in a lot of ways, and I love that you're doing that. Amethyst saying, "Hi, Mary, good to see you. Love to see you tonight, Michelle." And several months have been about reclaiming my voice. Yes. And just the fact that you said hi to Mary, you see what I'm saying? You're forming connections with other like minded souls, other people who are on this journey. And it's not everyone's journey at this moment, okay? At this moment. So let's go ahead and speak up. We're going to do 8 shuffles. Let's find out, what does Spirit really want us to dial in on? Trusting the divine, okay? Trusting in the divine plan first and foremost. So really, really aligning to that trust and knowing that this track we're laying down, even though what usually happens is we want to know where we're going and then we'll put the track down. In a lot of ways, it's reverse. Okay. You're not, I got chills and they're multiplying. Hello. Okay. But, really focus on rejuvenation. Remember, you are a work in progress. Please have so much unconditional love for yourself. If you want to unplug, do it. Don't judge yourself. Try really hard. And that's why we're getting, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, because your mental ability and the ability to speak that out loud to yourself, to speak loud and proud to yourself, is actually a really amazing thing to do, because that is part of that reformation. Okay. That reformation, that revelation, right? According to your situation, you see? So really, yeah, laugh off those demons. Okay. It's like they're not going to stop you. And in fact, when I was pre shuffling, I was seeing, keep your commitments. Don't let anything get in your way. This is really, first and foremost, holding on to that trust of that divine plan, allowing things to really play out. Okay. Allowing them to play out. Make sure that you're collaborating, because this is what I was getting with this reading, guys. Those of you that are going to formulate, of course, you need to go in for yourself with this information. This is a collaboration, but I am getting that something new is coming. That's why we're laying down the tracks. This is going to be over several months. It's not going to be right away. Many of you have no inkling. Okay, you have no inkling of what this is all about. So that's where that trust comes. And say no. Allow yourself to focus on you. If you say yes to everything and everybody, you're going to be missing, most likely. And of course, everything wraps around and comes back. But the lesson here is to focus on your path. Notice we're laying down the tracks. The train is going to run over. You're going to see we got lots of box cars, lots of things coming your way. You're pulling the weight. You're like a freight train. And it's like, yes, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. And this is your line. Okay. We're not, everybody's laying down their own track. All right. Does that make sense? Okay. So let's see. I think this is like number 7. I always lose count. Look at that. Look at that. Change tracks. I got goosebumps. I got goosebumps everywhere. Okay. So it's time to change tracks. It's like you're going into a new cycle. Everything that you've been through, you've already learned. Let's recode some of this nervous system that holds the memories of the past, not only this lifetime, multiple lifetimes. Some of this information can be confusing, but let's end where we started. Let this shift in your abundance, this framework of your abundance, start and end, and in the middle and at all times, trusting in the divine plan. Okay? So the divine is going out of their way. Trust, have faith. Okay? Trust and have faith. It's all going to be worth it. And right at the bottom, we're getting to admit your vulnerabilities. Okay. Now, according to this number here, right away, I'm getting you're a warrior spirit. Boy, you're tough as nails. So tough. And guess who you're toughest on? Do you want to guess? Yourself. Okay. So you are a warrior spirit. You do not give up. You have tons of perseverance. You are not afraid to get your hands dirty, okay, to get down to it. Get down to it. We got this disco stuff coming in, right? Come on, run my train. Move that body. Woo, woo. Okay. So it's really just have fun along the way. Okay. Have some fun. Admit your vulnerability. Speak up when that's happening because most likely it wants to manifest from here through your voice into the earth plane so that you can what? Do with it as you need. You can recode, you can reformat, you can transcribe, you can transform. You see what I'm saying? It's like your words that you speak to yourself, okay? For all of you who find this, your words are actually really important, okay? How you use your words are important. They impact not only you, but I'm getting the people around you. A train carries people over distances, okay? So even though you're laying down this tracks, all aboard, who's coming on that train with you? You see where I'm going here? So admit those vulnerabilities, let them come up as they come because that's part of laying that track. Okay. All right. We're going to go into this. We're going to do 12 cards here, 12 tracks. We're going to get things going. This is definitely about your mission. Please be open to love. Please, as you're unwinding, and I am feeling that some of you are letting go of something. Okay, it's different for all of you. And this is where this speak up, this vulnerability is coming because when you bring it up, you can you can like edit, right? That's kind of what I was thinking. You can edit. And when you edit, sometimes the message changes. But as you're unraveling what was really kind of like not for you, oh, here comes Miss J. She wants to come say hi.
Okay.
What? Oh, so
I can put a safety pin through my ear hole.
Okay, so now you know you can put a safety pin through your ear hole, like my daughter Jordan. Thank you, Sonny.
My piercings were stretched out.
Love you.
I wanted to show you because I thought it was funny.
Okay, so this is part of your mission. Be open to love. Be open to the things that come in your life. Like the door just opened. Did you see that when we were saying that? Be open. The door just opened. Opportunities are going to be coming your way. Allow yourself to see those. Okay. I'm getting that some of you, and I actually really identify with this. I could feel my heart like, yeah. Some of us have been healing for so long and so expansive and extensive that what's happening is we're not really paying attention to what's coming in that place. And that's why you were brought here. It's time to lay down those tracks. We're losing something so that we can get something else in its place. Okay. And what's really super cool is you have the ability to reformat some of those neurological, those things that are just on autopilot for you. Okay. Focus on counting your blessings. That's how you shift and heal. Count on those blessings. Know that you are on track. Okay. Even though we're changing tracks, you are on track. Okay. Knuckles, you've done the work. You've allowed yourself to move into a new cycle. Okay. And this is really great. So this is really kind of both of these cards so far are really just saying, you've been letting go so much, you've been surrendering. There's a lot I feel that you've been doing. And now it's like we're changing tracks and it's going to feel a little different. It's going to feel a little different, but you can take the lead. Okay. You can take the lead. The number 55 always talks to me about the overdrive. Okay. We're talking about your structure. Okay. Your structure for you that works best. There's some changes that need to be taken. And that's why we're laying down these tracks. There's kind of like this overdrive energy, if you will. And it's like we just want you to shift so that you're not putting out more than needed. Remember, when we're laying down these tracks, guys, when it is some challenging work, okay? Especially because as warrior spirits, you are so used to being able to get nitty gritty, get into it, find the details. And so this can be a little frustrating for your soul because these are new, like accolades, new skill set. And so don't allow take this lead is really speaking to me in a big way. And I'm trying to find the words here. Okay. It's like, look at this diamond, right? You see the diamond there? And it's like, you can take the view. There's different views. So, and you'll change this view over these months. Okay. And this is that overdrive. You're really kind of going in a cycle and it's going to feel like it might kind of like when it starts to snow and you don't shovel so it's a little harder on the next day. So it's just like, you're going to have some fast moving energies. There's going to be times where you're alchemizing. You're going to be facing some shadows, sometimes expansion on the ones you've already faced. And then there's going to be times where you just want to have this unconditional love. So the divine is just letting you know, trust your nudges, trust your nudges, trust the universe, trust what's coming around for you, and know that you can shift gears. Okay, let's see. Mary says, good to see you here. Also, I've been healing for the last few months after a back surgery. Oh, girl, that is tough. It's been very hard, but I'm getting there. Yeah, that's really challenging. Good luck with your recuperation, and that is challenging. And sometimes when we have those setbacks, earlier in the year, I broke my foot. Well, I didn't break it. I severely sprained it. It kind of is bad when you say, I wish I would have broke it, because it was a really severe sprain. And I mean, I was like in a chair far longer than I thought, elevating, even though I was recuperating. But it's so amazing, isn't it, Mary? And anyone else who identifies with this, it's just like where you're at. It's like it gives you that time to do some of these things that you wouldn't have the opportunity to do. So take advantage of that timing, Mary. Okay. For sure, what we're talking about, no matter what you're laying down for yourself, make sure it's for you. Make sure it feels aligned. Collaborate with the powers of the one. On this channel, I'm a huge advocate of the animals, the crystals, the plants, the wind, the sun, the movie. All the things are coming in to nudge you, to give you signs, synchronicities, show you the way. And the way that you find that even more, one of the tracks you want to lay down is just this love for yourself, really putting yourself at the priority for this change. Because when you lay down the tracks, the structure of abundance, and once you develop all these expansions, as we're going to look, All these beautiful box cars that are going to run on this train. You're going to be really blown away what you're going to emerge into. And it's going to be really worth it. Okay. So, really take this time, to really focus on yourself, friends. Okay. To really focus on yourself, to reassess, to allow yourself. Now, look at that, reassesses. Ass. I see the ass in the middle there. This is the one right after the warrior. And it's like, give yourself permission to, start over, to reassess, to remember we're reformatting. This is like, we're writing a story of ourselves, right? And we can go back and edit, right? We can go back and edit. We can redraft. We can rewrite. Okay. So this is really coming up though, that reasses, what I was getting here is really related to what's on bottom. Admitting your vulnerabilities, really allowing yourself to, put down that warrior, because a warrior would never admit that they have vulnerabilities because that might get them, they may lose that fight. They may get killed. You know what I'm trying to say? So, how do we get to the next step? How can we reassess? How can we see the things that are uncomfortable for us? And instead of saying, why me? Why me? Why this? How can we look more? How can we reassess for the expansion? Because it just makes it so much better. And it's not easy, but with practice, it gets easier and easier. You want to really be true to yourself, guys. Really, this is what's really coming in here. Remember, we're laying down the tracks of your evolutionary shift. Okay? So you know best. And that is a huge message here. Okay. It's like, listen to your voice, speak up and tell yourself, I got this. I have, when I did Party Late, for 25 years. I've been an entrepreneur for 30 years of my life. And it's not easy to do that. And I literally used to, it's really funny and powerful. Okay. I'm really glad that everyone has cell phones now because, yeah, I'm kind of like that age. I'm 55, loud and proud. And we didn't have cell phones. So when I would look in my rear view mirror and look at myself and repeat a little mantra, it looked like I was like talking to myself. Now it just looks like you're on the phone. But I used to go into every party. So I was a candle lady. I would do parties. And right before I went into the party, no matter what kind of day I had, I would take the rear view mirror and I would point it to me and I would look at myself and I would say, I am a powerful Party Light consultant and everybody wants me. And no matter what was happening that day, it just created this shift in my mindset. And when you have a shift in your mindset, you're attracting different things, you're noticing different things. So really be true to yourself. See how this glitter, right? This golden glitter, and this is on top of that harlequin pattern, that pattern that runs in the background, okay? And remember, the biggest reason your team brought you here is to lay down the tracks, to redo, to reformat your nervous system, to change your reactions, to change your responses. Okay. So, really being true to yourself. All right. What else are we doing? We're laying down the tracks. Really have unconditional love and integrate the energies, okay? Because you're going to be strengthening your gifts over these next several months. You're going to be learning from different situations. A lot of this is going to be with you and your team, collaboration with your guides, with your team. You may hear things in like you're like an oracle in collaboration with another healer, a friend, a family member. But strengthening your gifts is really going to be about integrating some new concepts, some new ideas, a new ahas. Okay. Let's see. Look at this. Go for your dreams. This is for you. I love this because let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the eighth card. Eight is comes in for me as abundance. Okay, it's infinite. Go for your dreams. This is the time for you to have, and this is like filled with so many blessings for you. Okay, this is a positive outcome for you. This is a pinnacle for you, but it's a matter of letting go and trusting the divine. And for some of you, going in a totally new direction. Okay, totally new direction. And part of that new direction, guys, is what? It's accepting the disappointments gracefully. Don't look as things that are falling apart, okay? The accidents, things that happen, things that you don't want to happen, all these other things. But sometimes what they do is they put us on path, okay? Immediately, I'm thinking of a story, okay, that I'd like to share with you. And it's really quick, and it's basically about this a single mom got kids to feed, and it's like, and this is back in the 50s, like back in the 40s and 50s when women didn't really work, and she was really having a hard time finding money, and she was an excellent cook. So she tried doing that thing where she would cook for families, and she had that job and she was fired, and it's like she could have just let that be the end. But she had, on that way home, when she was fired, she was walking past a factory and she had an insight. What if I brought my food to the factory? And what she did is she created a new path for herself. She trusted that insight. She started serving food at the factory, and it became a business for her. She developed a whole new plan. She had a what was nice, instead of working for others, she was working for herself. So even though there's going to be things in the path that are like, how can we look at the flip and say, okay, this is for me. This is for me. I wouldn't have chosen that, but it's for me. Okay. That's definitely something that's coming in here. Trust that on the opposite side of those disappointments are opportunities. New doors are going to open when you least expect them. Okay. And it's like the universe is going to get your attention for sure. For sure. Okay. When we're laying down the tracks, you do want to build on solid ground. Okay. Now I am noticing I heard reflection. Okay. That's interesting. I love that. I heard reflection because I just saw this was number 35 and this is number 53. Now, I love the synchronicity. Okay, I'm getting goosebumps because I'm seeing a message within the message. So when we put these numbers together, you see 5335. Okay. Now, if you'll go back with me at a little bit earlier, I was talking about the overdrive and you taking the lead. See that 55 there? In the midst of this overdrive, in the midst of you taking the lead, laying down these tracks towards something new, there's going to be a lot of ding, 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 alchemy on the way. So build on solid ground. Make sure you're feeling grounded. Connect. For all my spiritual people, no matter what's happening, first thing in the morning, no matter what's going on, and we all got things going on. I know I wake up sometimes, I'm like, what? Holy Hannah, this happened overnight. And you just want to wake up and ground yourself. So this is just a little message for those of you that may be here for the first time. Maybe you're looking for information. These girls on here right now probably have experience with this, but get up and take a moment to connect with the earth, connect with God. I call God Yahweh, and really find your center. Okay. I like to do what's called a pillar of light. Something that I learned when I was collaborating and I'm an angelic coach. So that's what I learned in that class. And it is something I do every single morning or anytime I start to feel kind of squirrely. I really take a moment to connect to the earth and connect to Yahweh and bring the light and just feel centered, okay? And not let anything get in the way. So, but building on solid ground means, allowing that framework, okay? So it's like you may have ideas, you might have insights, but going within, working with your team, taking time to what? To reassess, okay? And sometimes we get these little insights and it's not time yet. Do we want to note them? Yes, we want to note them. We want to note them. We want to put them in a notebook. We want to keep them right here tucked in. But sometimes it's just not time. And as you go, like I know, gosh, spirit keeps me busy. Lately, like I've been just as an example, I shared I'm gonna be doing whale oracle in a couple days. Um, excuse me, animal wisdom in a few days, and I get mixed messages. So I'll get like 10 messages on a day, and three of them are for the whale oracle, and one is for this, and one is for something else. But but the language that I work with my team, with the numerology, the different facets that we've been doing, it speaks to me in a different way. Why am I saying all this? I'm saying all this because this is about you, okay? This is, you want to reflect on this. It wants to be your idea, okay? Your insight, your collaboration, okay? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Okay, so let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We're gonna do. Is that right? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. We saw this earlier, and it's coming up again to rejuvenate. Okay, to really take the time. This is like the third time that we are confirming here in your reading to really focus on you. Okay, to allow yourself to integrate, to allow yourself to really have unconditional love for yourself. You cannot, nothing works if it's not unplugged or charged. You see what I'm saying? Including you. We can't just go, go, go like the Energizer Bunny and expect for everything just to change on a dime, right? And so this is kind of a little magic for you. It's like actually what I'm feeling a lot with you is the more that you allow yourself the time to reassess, the time to strengthen your gifts, the time to be true to yourself. You see all these messages, the time to love yourself, the time for you to take the lead, to count the blessings, to be open, to, this is just really emphasized here. The more that you do this, the easier it is for you to lay down these tracks because you'll feel more grounded. You'll be more connected. Do you see the expansion in that? And it's really going to make a lot of difference in your progress, okay? In your progress and really in your patience. Because remember that first domino is to trust in the divine plan put before us, okay? Yeah. How can we look forward? How can we look forward? And notice those O's are looking forward, not with the eyes of shadow. And that is a huge message in this reading. The shadow aspect has had enough time. Lord knows they have had enough time. The messages that relay on on our neurons, on our nervous impulses, many are automatic. Many of them we don't even have control, okay? And that's what we're actually taking the time to kind of like look at. How can we recalibrate, reformat, transform so that it's more authentic for you, um, to see to see and not just sight as in clears, okay, because there is expansion there, but to actually have vision, okay? And not vision based on, because when I was in this oracle, and we're going to get this a little bit more in the box cars, it's really important the messages that you're saying to yourself. So, how can we not look through the eyes of the shadow and be hard on ourselves, but instead look at the eyes of the light, of the balance, of the transformation, of those shadows coming to the light instead? That's the easy button here. Notice everything is moving in the background. But if you concentrate on looking forward and having unconditional love, it's like that easy button from the Staples commercial, right? And that's, you know, really what I'm getting here is so easy for you to do. It's just a matter of you making yourself a priority. Okay. Okay, so these are the tracks we're laying down. And we're admitting our vulnerability. Look at these tracks. We're taking these steps, okay? We're getting around to laying down these tracks so that we can run our train. It's like you already have a train and you have a whole bunch of box cars that want to be set up. There's a whole bunch that you're going to be moving, okay, like a freight loader. But if you don't have the tracks to put them on, that train never leaves the station. This is the message that's coming through. So, what are we emerging into, Spirit? Ooh, what you been calling out for? What you been calling out for? Okay. So, what is this that you've been calling out for? I'm going to move these cards up here. I've got a couple messages for you as we move into the other part of this. So, we're laying down the tracks, right? And now, look at that. We're laying down the tracks. We're looking at that structure of abundance. What does it look like? And it looks like a lot of love for yourself, friends. Okay. It looks like a lot of love for yourself. Now we're going to actually look at the box cars. So once those tracks are laid and we start the train, what are the box cars? What's coming? What are we pulling? What are we emerging into? And overall, to begin with, we're learning about something that we can pay forward. And I was feeling that because you're kind of going on a path that hasn't been created, right? So if you're moving on an evolutionary path, your individuality, something that is very abundant for you, it's something that you're going to learn about and then be able to pay forward as the teacher. But let's go ahead. This is some fast moving energy. Once those tracks are laid down, I have a sense that the time that it takes for this, okay, it can feel a little daunting. This is something that's going to be coming in like over the next year and a half. It's not going to be automatic. Okay. However, once that track is laid down, we're going to have some very fast moving energies, okay, that are going to align you to this teacher, to this wisdom, to this expansion. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. We're going to do 8 shuffles again. Yeah, I told you this is an evolutionary path for yourself. This is look at these, you literally have so many things coming in, so many things unraveling, opening up for you. Okay. And this has a lot to do with doing the framework of laying down those tracks of, for many of you, you have a very wounded divine feminine. Okay. And, hey, don't we all? Don't we all? And so that wound, when we saw that look with, and it was like, don't look through the shadow, look at the reflection. Okay. Look at the alchemy. So this is a very magical time for you. You've been already doing so much of the work. Let's go ahead and keep going. Yeah. I love this. The whale is coming forward. You've got this rebirth, and it's not just a whale. This is a beluga. Okay. Look at this beautiful phoenix, this transformation. this whitening, if you will, okay? The changing of the neural, like the real change within you of the changing of the memory within your cells, okay? Now, the beluga is really known for communication. And so this is what I was feeling for you. You're going to communicate how this is happening for you. It's going to make, I feel, a difference for so many people. Thinking of Finding Nemo, how the beluga helps him find his way. Okay, yeah, legacy. This is the second time I got this in your shuffling as well. This is all about your legacy. This is about moving forward. Many of you are the ones doing the work in your family tree, ancestrally, really healing those wounds. Okay. Yep. And it's all about going within. This barred owl, look at, he is intense. Like, look at that look. It's intense, right? But he's observing and he's listening. The owl remembers the 360 perspective. How can we remember? A lot of you are warrior spirits. So you're ready for the fight. How can we lay down the sword? How can we close our mouth for a moment and listen for the reflection? What is the reflection? Okay, I feel it so strongly with you that there is so much, and it can be very, yeah, spirit is here. They want to commune with you. Spirit wants to show you the bigger picture, right? And it's like, I was just talking about this the other day. It doesn't matter if there's any crows on your back, because the crows are the only ones that attack the eagles. The eagles, they can go up to heights that the crow can't handle, and it will just fall. So don't worry about what people are saying about what you're doing. Do you think everybody thinks that, do you think I have tons of people are like, you work with it? What? Attunements? Yeah, I do. And you know what? It doesn't bother me, but I have a lot of experience because of that entrepreneur of really kind of forging forward, but we don't all have that skill. Don't let the naysayers, don't let them rule, okay? It's all about what the messages you're sending to yourself, all right? I really feel that, yeah, because you're going through this healing. I love this. Good fortune and blessings are coming. I told you I feel really good about this. I actually really love the spiral here because it reminds me of the messages I meant to share with you. Okay, so hold on. We're going to take a pause here on the shuffle. That's shuffle number 6. And here we go. A channeled message for you, friends. Like a photograph, the more focus you have, the better the picture. Fight through the frustration of your situation. Okay. And it's like you are pulling a lot of weight. And I love this. And it reminded me, and so, okay, I'm going to keep going. Next message. Oh, I'm going to share after. Okay. So remember this image for after. Okay. I'm going to share the other channeled message in a moment. But spirit is here to show you the bigger picture, okay? But can you allow yourself to be taken for a ride? Can you allow spirit to show you? Many of us have been taught through this warrior spirit to find our way, to carve our path, to make it happen, to choose the destination and do the framework. And it's like, this is like foreign for you. Because you're such a mover and a shaker. To kind of surrender and wait and receive is actually more of a challenge. But you got this. You got this. You were brought here. Spirit has got your back. It's all about that light body. Your energy and your vibration and your frequency is so related to this light body. It's like I'm learning more and more. This is actually where the shadow is held. It's like in a lot of times we deal with the shadow. We do the healing. We bring that focus in. I was just saying, look at all the way in the back. We can't see it. And it comes to the forefront, right? And that's what we laid down the tracks to bring something to the forefront. But then oftentimes we do the work and we forget that it can be kind of get stuck in our light body. So it's like, what I mean by that is, it's like the memory of the shadow. And this is why we're reformatting. And this can be a very confusing thing, friends, because some of the things that we're reformatting are, things that you endured on other timelines and past lives. You are an amazing, expansive soul. And look at this. And we got 44, 444 on the clock. You're in the right place at the right time to really move into the next step of your evolution. Okay. And when you make evolutionary changes, it's not easy. It's not easy. It goes against the grain. Okay. It goes against really everything you know. So you strip yourself to the bare bones and you focus on all these flowers, you focus on what you're putting out there. And you focus on the seeds that are going to grow and the healing and what's going to come in those spaces. Okay. And this is what really what Spirit wants you to concentrate on is what's going to come in the place of all that is being reformatted, rechanged, transformed. How can we stay in the dance no matter what's happening in that emotional space? Do you see these lights? Do you see these codes, these light codes, these change? The dolphin renews its body. Did you know that the dolphin actually gets nudged and scraped? Like you see sharks, how they're all banged up. What's really unique about the dolphin is they have the innate ability to renew their skin, and they do it about 10 times a day. So the message that's been abundantly coming through for you is to take the time to rejuvenate, to renew. This is how we can take whatever irritant there is that you're laying the tracks to reformat. And this is how we can turn it into that beautiful pearl by reformatting, retwisting, re-editing, looking at it, expanding more. And every time we do, we renew, we recode, we recalibrate. Okay? And so here we go on bottom. Have faith. Bliss. This is the crown chakra. This is all about, if you look at your crown chakra, okay, and if you think about your crown chakra, your crown chakra has everything to do with your connection to the divine. So whatever we're going through, we're laying down the tracks, and then we're going to move that caboose, and we're going to bring in all this abundance, right, which we're merging into. What's amazing about all that is one of the very first things that you're going to experience is this as you trust in the divine and as your crown chakra activation, okay, what happens is all the things, it kind of tightens, okay, and this is a good thing. It kind of tightens, so your connection tightens, okay. So as we clear, as we reformate all the noise coming from our cells, from who we are, okay, on a cellular level in many ways. It's like we're clearing that noise and we're expanding that signal with the divine so that you can work in tandem as you were always meant to receive and to trust what you're receiving and to play that game. And this is the evolutionary change. It's not about taking the 5 steps X, Y, Z, P to Q. It's about you following what you innately and intuitively are guided to do. Okay? This is really important for you. Okay. So what are we going to do? We've got the train, we got the tracks down, we reformatted, reformatted, right? We're rejuvenating, all the re's, okay? And it's going to expand this communication. So these are the box cars coming forward, all right? What's in those box cars? Well, is a change from the current situation. Okay, you're leaping forward, you're moving forward. It's a big leap, is what I'm hearing. Okay, a big leap forward, and it puts you into the all this new. Look at all this new unmanifest. It throws you into this leap forward, throws into the whole new space, and it gives you a whole new outlook, which is amazing. Okay, service and contribution, you feel part of something bigger. So, as you're gathering the ingredients and as you're laying down the tracks and as you're doing the work, which is really challenging, you're going to see along the way that you're not alone. You're going to see the service and contribution of others. And if you don't, one of the biggest ways to really get back into that mindset is for you to be of service and contribution. How can you assist others? Because sometimes what happens is we're so focused on ourselves that we don't even see this as abundance. We don't see the shift. We don't see the honey of our hard labor because sometimes we're too close to it. But if we can take some time to really focus on others, what will happen is it puts it in perspective of really what you've been going through. Okay. I love this. I love this for you. You are the weaver. You are the creator of your own destiny. Yes. Okay. But what you're weaving with, my friends, that's the game changer. You're no longer weaving with the shadow. Those cobwebs always fall apart. This is something beautiful and dazzling. So you're creating and weaving based on things that are for your highest good. Mary says, I've always trusted my intuition, but as of this year, I have to question sometimes. Yeah. And that's where you want to reassess and I think we all go through that. Mary, thank you for being vulnerable and sharing that on the thread. We all go through cycles like that, and sometimes that's just a deeper expansion to really find out how much we can trust ourselves and asking the universe, right? Asking for that to be expanded, asking, how can I trust myself more? Because Lord knows, Mary, I have gone through it. And those of you that find this channel, you may resonate very much. I've talked about it many times. There are energies that want to block you from this evolutionary change. And what's even more messed up is we are part of creating those energies. What? It can be really conflicting. It really can. But this journey, friends, that you're going on, this leap forward, this new mindset, this thing that you're creating, it's really going to be you. So it's going to feel aligned. If it doesn't, that's not right. Okay. Thank you for bringing that up. So I was feeling life force, transformation. And I love this because immediately when I'm seeing this card, I'm getting that. And you know how like they play, you always see in the movies, they play this little flute and the cobra comes up like it's controlled by the music, by the tune. But you know what you're going to do? Because you laid down the tracks and you reformatted and changed the tune, really, tuned your frequency, okay, is what you're going to be doing. You're going to have different experiences. And so those types of things will not be able to control you. Look at this, back to back. Do you see this in the background? Okay. The things that happened, really, I'm getting here with this spider, I'm getting the things that happened for you, the things that injured that wounding for that divine feminine. A lot of this is ancestral, guys. A lot of it is ancestral, been carrying it for a really long time. And it's like, it's also, I'm getting these reds and oranges. So it's like these connection, we're reformatting and re re-energizing this connection to ourself through our ancestry, this connection to who we are, because we have learned that many, especially, I mean, I'm not just picking on the women here. We're talking about divine feminine. So when we all have that part of our energetic makeup, and we've all been told we're not good enough. We've all been told, that that's not right, that, you have these insights, we all have our own magic, and that has been squashed out of us, learned from fear, and we are changing the story. And we are changing the story, friends, right? And we're going to get those gifts, and we're going to be generous to ourselves, be our authentic self without the fear. This is that box, this is that abundance that you're pulling in. This is the healing for yourself, to be your most authentic feminine. This is a feminine turkey. She's blue. She's in her authenticity. She's living in the daylight. And she's really feeling like, have you been outside and you've got that sun glow? And it's just so gorgeous. And you just feel so blessed in that moment. This is what's for you. This is what's coming for you. Okay, to be who you are authentically, there is no better gift, friends. There is no better gift. There really truly isn't. Okay. All right. Ooh. Creation and rebirth. Now, this is really interesting. I'm definitely getting an expanded message right here. That really, I think we can all agree that if we're talking about timelines, we've got the scarabs, the Egyptian timeline here. We're changing that mandala. It is a very dense timeline, friends. And as we move into the age Aquarius, it's like, in order for us to move from the Piscean into the Aquarian, we've got to really recode and reformat all that was of that epoch. Now, does it mean it was evil? No, that was where we were. We had lots of wars. We had men over women, but we've been changing that, and we're changing that cycle. We're changing that mandala. We're going into that rebirth, okay? And we're recoding. And I love this so much because I've been getting a lot of information synchronistically with this card about grubs, how they eat at the root. And how that affects your connection to others, to the world around you. And this is what we're changing. Okay. Many of you have been solitary, hermits, and you're comfortable there. And this is where we want you to speak up and collaborate with others and share, so that you can find you're actually part of something so much bigger. Okay. And as these beetles have ate at your root, as we're reformulating and being transplanted, okay, that's what you're doing here in this work. It's like you're going to be able to see the reflection of that. So what I mean is, okay, think of the beetles, think of grubs in your lawn right now. They eat at the roots, they destroy your lawn. And what's really crazy is you can't just ignore it from 1 year. It just gets worse and worse. Okay. But there are things that you can do. There are certain plants, like planting marigolds. There are steps that you can take to reformulate, to repopulate. Okay. One of the things I was getting was petunias. This is the energy this has been coming up, and I'm not really sure why I'm mentioning it, but I am. So what petunias do is they attract the beetles that in their adult form, and then you can just pick them off and remove them. Okay, these are Japanese beetles. This is a story coming through. We have this irritant, we have this infestation, if you will, of things that are eating at our energy. Okay. And it's like, that's what we're transforming. That's what we're transforming. And not only transforming, but breaking through with new inventions, uh, new, like, oh my gosh, I'm hearing new sounds, new formulations, formulas. Like, I mean, there is just so much to pioneer. You wouldn't even think it, but a lot of our technology is just like really things that we've already experienced before on other timelines. But now, as we elevate our frequency, as we do the work individually and see through the eyes of shadow and develop that individuality, we start to have real breakthrough moments. Okay? Breakthrough moments. And as we emerge, we have to remember we still got that sticky stuff. The barred owl is making his rounds again. Okay. He's coming in to say, please listen to yourself. Trust your intuition. Trust your intuition. And I'm going to take it a step further. Trust your intuition. Trust that voice inside. Many of you don't know how special that voice is. I never knew. I have always heard the voice, my intuition. I just thought it was my inner. I didn't know it was like, I didn't know it was a gift. Okay. I didn't know, but I've always listened to it and I've allowed it. It's guided me so much in my life. Okay. So, how can you make sure you're observing? Okay. You're staying perched, staying grounded, and really taking the time to listen to who you are, to listen to the messages that are coming through. This is just really important. And it's kind of like as you've already laid down the tracks. Okay. So, this is what's emerging. So, it's like once you do the work and you transition into pulling, and I think I can make it down this track to my destination. The borrowed owl is reminding you everything you need is within. Everything you need is within. And that is just so peaceful to know that everything you need will present itself. So look at this. First, we pull in the boxcar that we're emerging, but we still kind of have that sticky stuff. So it's like the bar dolls, like, listen to yourself, how you can integrate what you're hearing so that you can emerge. You see this? This is just so beautiful, my friends. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay. I have this puzzle. Okay. I love this puzzle. And look at this healing. And this healing is right here to the waters, to the emotional body, which determines the quality of your divine feminine. I was really feeling that from the beginning, that this is actually such an expansion, laying down the tracks to heal your divine feminine, which is how you receive from the divine. Okay. There's a lot of interference there. And even though there's interference, and even though it's not clear cut, you're going to lay down the tracks to be able to communicate so that you can get this much needed healing to your spark, your life force, your creation, your creator spirit. Okay. So that you can come forward with that train to take all aboard. I just feel it so strongly that you have something to bring forward that's very unique. Okay. Very unique. Yeah. And not only healing for you, but for generations to come. For generations to come. When you do the work, when you quantumly heal, right? When you heal and recode and reformat neurologically, evolutionary path. This is the time, friends. We are at a time, a lot of people are like, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. No, this is the time. We are at the time of the evolutionary changes of humanity from the wounding of our ancestors. Okay. And it's like when you make a change here, let's say you're right here, this is you and your ancestry tree. It ripples, my friends. It ripples throughout the entire generations. So that is the power here. Okay. That's the train tracks. That's the party that's coming along. This is not just for you, others are going to benefit. So, just really, the bat is coming up here. Allow the purification. There's going to be some purification. There's going to be this. Look at this initiation. You're going to be moving into how can I, take this shadow, bring it through, but also transmute. I do feel very strongly that all of you who find this are spiritualists, some sort of catalyst. You're definitely a healer, a teacher. You're meant to work in this arena. Okay. And if you look at this bat who's all ready to move by the sound, okay, it knows when to come out of its sleep and to go into flight because of that sonar. You're just gonna know. You're just gonna know. But I do want you to see that this bat it's a little uneven here, okay? Kind of like that dragon, How to Train Your Dragon, how he has his tail, so that damages his balance. So there's a little damage here, but this is that wound I was talking about. You're going to be called part of your abundance choo-choo train, part of what you're going to be pulling in are the changes, the evolutionary changes to get this wing back into balance, to regenerate that, or to find a way, just like, and I'm hearing like that on How to Train a Dragon, how he built a little invention to give that balance, to change things up in flight. This is very much part of your journey, and it's unique to you. I cannot tell you enough that is unique to you. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. In fact, this is like that evolutionary change at number 12. Okay. How can we collaborate with the one? How can we see our individual purpose in the greater scheme of all? And it's like when you lay down the tracks and lay down the tracks to heal that divine feminine and find that balance and get so you're not so wobbly, it's going to be a game changer for you. Okay. And not only that, it's going to leave all that was imprinted in the past. You're going to be able to fly away from it. Yeah. Wow. And this is things that are imprinted on us, in this timeline, again, in previous timelines. Like I said, you're a very expanded, complicated soul. Many of you, right, many incarnations. Yes, many, many, many incarnations. And so this is like you have had your soul journey is very complex. Okay. And so this injury that I'm talking about is not just a one time thing, it was reinforced. It's like nobody puts baby in a corner. Like you're that warrior that's ready to fight. That's how much it's been reinforced, right? And so, and it doesn't mean that's where you are. We're all in different parts, but somewhere here, somewhere on this where we are right now in this life, you identify with that coming out swinging. Somebody backing you up into a corner, and you got to come out swinging. You got to take care of yourself, because that's how that trauma has been reinforced. And I do believe that you had it on this timeline. And you know what? Some of you are like, stop the madness. I'm not going to let this crap control me. And some of you, did it early on. And some of you are working the path. There's no judgment. But this is part of your abundance, to get this purification, to get this initiation into this new, like, brotherhood, if you will, those who have let go of the imprint and the impact of this multidimensional trauma, okay, of this multidimensional trauma, which, in some ways was to keep you blocked, was to keep you from being individual. Okay? And we want to expand here, friends. We don't want to get lost in the little rabbit's tail down the rabbit hole. Is like part of part of that part of us, that Piscean age, in that like everybody kind of doing things in a certain way, there was purpose to that. But now we're changing the rules, if you will. We're changing the rules. Okay, we're turning things upside down, and it's time for you to have that abundance because of how things were. Your part of your evolutionary path is you were experiencing more of that shadow side. Now it's time for that expansion. This is the second time. This fertility, this creativity, this expansion, it's going to, expand on that crown. Do you see that expansion here? And remember when we first had that wolf. So there's this enlightenment, this expansion because of your journey. And if you didn't have that evolutionary turmoil, if you weren't led to lay down the tracks to reformat in the first place, you wouldn't be able to gather this enlightenment. Now, these strawberries are really talking to me because strawberries for me pair with a strawberry crystal, which literally has a cross on it. And it's like the crosses we bear. The crosses we bear, the crosses that we carry, the obstacles that we have always lead to the gift. They always lead to the gift of blossom and growth. So just keep your ears up. Know that this abundance is for you. Okay? This is part of that renewal, to know that this is for you, that this is the structure leading you to this abundance, and not just money, in all aspects. In all aspects, because many times it's been robbed from you in the past. Okay? The elephant is here, and the elephant is actually walking in, I love this. The elephant is the largest animal on the earth and is literally walking in your favor. This masculine energy is really following your trail, but walking with love, really grounding in. I'm like feeling every step the elephant is taking. It's really grounding in that impact, really like leaving, and as it's following, I'm saying following because this elephant is following you. It is the divine feminine that leads the pack in the elephants. And this is where we're putting things straight for you. Things got a little mucked up along the way. And instead of having that way of receiving and taking action, many of you who find yourselves here, you take the action over and over and over. And what happens is it doesn't really propel you to where you want to go. And what happens then is it reinforces the shadow, right? It reinforces the how you're not, how you give your power away. And this is something that's happened over and over and over again in many different ways. And it's like there are so many parts of the universe conspiring and working with you if you allow it. If you allow it. It's been a hard road, but I wouldn't change a thing. Exactly. Exactly. Ding, ding, ding. When you have full circle moments where you're actually grateful for the obstacle because of what the wisdom that you got in that moment, the power that you claim back, oh, priceless. It is priceless, friends. And you're going to get this in some way, shape, or fashion because many of you, so much has been taken, so much has been lost, but hear me now. It can never be truly taken for you. It comes back to you in a new form. And that's what I'm trying to tell you here. Many of you, in a way, have spent a lot of time in quote unquote hell. And now it's time to create that heaven on earth. It's time to show the reflection. And this is by what? Not allowing the hell to determine what your heaven is. Does that make sense? Wow. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Our final card, our 15th card. How can we be one with this change? When you notice when you came into this oracle, there was a picture of a train in Burlington Northern. My guides told me Burlington Northern. I'm like, okay. What? And so, and notice they chose that picture. The number car 5040. And I want you to know that 5040 is letting you know that spirit is bringing this change in. Spirit is bringing in this change. Spirit is bringing in this structure. You just have to lay down the tracks and allow yourself to trust the plan. It's like the architect, the great architect, God, Yahweh, the angels, the divine, they have created a plan, and they want you just to roll it out, because in many ways it's yours. It's always been yours. And so it's time to take that back. How can we be one with the shift? How can we be one with our heart? How can we be one with our connection and trust in our sacred wisdom? The ibis, I was talking very much back here on the scarabs. I was talking about the Egyptian timeline, very dense, part of the 3D, okay, part of the third dimension, if you will. I don't really like to kind of get like that, but it's coming up for us to understand. And as we move beyond our stars that have been given to us, it is the claim of the sacred wisdom. So that is what we're pulling. All these boxcars. We've got this train. We've made these tracks. We've got this train. Why? Well, let's go over it one more time so we can leap forward into something new, so that we can be of service to others in contribution to the whole, so that we can use our creativity and design and align our design and to create and to weave what's proper for us and getting also for others, so that we can change, transmute, and really embrace our life force without the control of others. Okay? So that we can walk in that beautiful, warm glow of sunshine in our most authentic self, being grateful for every step that we take, grounded in who we are, healing, taking this healing mandala, a rebirth of that dense timeline, going into that. And it's like so much has held us from going into that. And that's where this sacred wisdom comes, friends. Many of you should check out the ibis. Okay. It is related to Egypt. It is a sacred bird there. And I think that you would love to see what it stands for. Okay. What else are we pulling in? Breakthroughs. We're breaking through areas that our soul has not been before. This is a new place, so please listen to your wisdom. You may not exactly see the pathway, but if you trust your innate wisdom and you listen to your voice, you will find the path. Integrate so that you can emerge, integrate what you're learning, listening to, so that you can emerge from that breakthrough, healing yourself in so many ways to expand your spark, to expand ultimately your connection with the divine, okay, with yourself, everything around you. Why not just claim some ancestral healing for yourself and all your ancestors, right? And also with this bat, we're bringing in this transformation of that shadow and that purification, but it allows you to step forward in service of others because you have been dragged through the mud. Okay. Some souls have not experienced this. And that's where you're going to see this reverse. There's this upside down. Okay. I'm going to read something for you. You'll see in just a moment. This is so positive for you. So abundant. Okay. So abundant, so fertile, so enlightening. Claim that wisdom, your power, and root that in. There is something that there is something that all of these obstacles, all of these shadows, which remember we're part of creating, have kept us from. And it is that sacred wisdom, that individual wisdom that is yours to claim, that was always yours to bring forward. So, as we get ready to leave you here, it is now time to share another channeled message with you. All right. I was getting that this is related to number one, which is really interesting because this message is going to be shared somewhere else. Okay, so related to number one, it says, "From under a spell, you now dwell." So it's almost like this shadow aspect. I mean, really kind of feeling that control. Okay, the control from your soul's experience. Anyway, so related to that, I heard, "On top of the world, you have been swirled." Remember that ladybug I showed you a little earlier? It showed the swirl. The divine told me, my guides told me, this swirl is to the left. So you're losing something. Okay, lefty loosey. And it's like something is being taken to allow this evolutionary change. And I believe it's that wounding. But through that wounding, you're going to find this really beautiful wisdom that you would never have had if you'd never had that wounding. And then I heard the song, "I'm on top of the world." You might want to listen to that song and check it out. And it's by Imagine Dragons. And I just watched the video because I'm always called to do that when I channel a song. And maybe I'm paying that forward. When a song comes through or when you hear a song, how can you go into that song and expand the message? What I mean is, what is the oracle of that song? Why did they make that song? Why did they make the video? When I was watching the video, I was like, oh my God, this is so unique because it was actually based on conspiracy theories. So it was talking about, like, if you watch the video, you'll see it was talking about how there was a conspiracy of how they never went to the moon. And how these conspiracies and how the nay talkers, and this is what was coming through, Spirit wanted us to understand how there's going to be always people that are not going to believe in what you are putting out there. Like I told you, I talk about attunements and some people are like, what? That's crazy. No way. Okay, but that's just not for them. It doesn't affect me. Okay, but that song is such an awesome song. It celebrates achieving long-held dream and overcoming obstacles, embodying triumph, perseverance, and joy after years of striving. My little engines that could. It highlights the importance to push forward. And as we leave you on that space, even though we've alluded to some of these like manipulative energies, I want you to remember we're privy to of creating those energies. And so no matter where you are in your mindset, one of the things that you can do to help yourself recode, to reformulate, to reformat, is to allow your heart to be open to the possibilities. So don't limit yourself is what I'm trying to say. If you're getting some of these, because I was getting like all this manipulative energy. I experience it and it's real. Like I asked my team, is this real? And it is. And my journey is really about allowing myself to focus beyond that. And that's where the attunements came in. That was the tracks I laid down. The attunements that I work with, the rosary and the Cambaran that I work with, friends, they are part of, that's because that's what helped me. But that's not going to align with everybody, okay? but maybe it will align with you. We'll see. Right now, it's just about laying down your own tracks and seeing where this train is going to take you. So I hope that you have enjoyed this oracle. I've enjoyed being here with you, and I'm going to be with you again. I'll be online in a few more days. This is a timeless oracle. I do want, my team was kind of telling me, kind of naysaying, the time limit, the duration, but I was getting about 15 months. But I want you to think about whenever you when you have a baby, it takes like 10 months and then a couple months to adjust. It's so funny. My team is saying yes, it's very similar. Okay. So you're birthing something new. Spirit, before we let them go on this beautiful oracle, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for bringing this forward. Goosebumps, goosebumps. Thank you so much. Is there anything that maybe I didn't transcribe right? Is there anything else you'd like me to bring forward? Okay, cool. I'm getting a no. Is there anything we want to leave them with? Okay, because I was getting that something wants to come through. So it's not that we didn't miss anything, but you want to kind of put a little dot. I'm getting like exclamation point with a dot. Yeah, okay. Is it something you want to show me? No. Is it something you want to channel? Okay, cool. We can do that. And who's this message from? Mm, interesting. Is this message of the highest good? No. I'm not going to listen to the naysayer because you're not here telling. Are you here to tell me the truth? So, this is coming up, friends, as you go into your discernment. Know that these energies are all around you. You perceive all energies, but it doesn't mean you need to listen to them. So you need to leave now. Leave now and don't come back. Thank you. So that came up for a great purpose, friends. Okay. Do you work for the light? Do you love me unconditionally and made me well? Okay. Who am I speaking to? Okay, the earth. Anything else, earth? No. Okay. So, you ready? You ready for this journey? You're not alone. Got this. And I'll be here bringing in messages to lead you along the way. If you choose to collaborate, I'm over and out. Gonna head to the movies with my little cutie pie. I'll talk to you all very soon. Have a good one.